Hey there. Today I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of interest to your post with your photos and with some text. So we're going to use a masked look with our text, and let me show you how to do that. Open up Canva and open up any size document. For this one, I am going to use the Instagram story template size. So you can either go type that in or you can just type Instagram and go to templates and create a blank one. And of course, name your file and then save it to a folder. Put this in tutorials so I can find it easily next time. And now what we're going to do next is we're going to add a stock photo. So I already have one picked out that I want to use. So I'm going to add that. Here, I'm adding this photo and I want it to take up the whole space. So I can just drag it here. And then I'm going to make a duplicate of this photo. So as I have it selected, I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste, or you can use the commands that you see on the right. Okay, now I'm just going to take down the transparency a little bit so I can make sure they're right on top of each other. Okay, so we have that now, and now I'm going to use the background remover. This is a Canva Pro feature, and so we have that masked out. You can't really tell right now, but once we add the text in, you're going to be able to see, and I also want to put a little filter on the back photo so it really helps the text pop. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create that color behind, and I'm just going to hit an R on my keyboard to create a rectangle. I'm going to drag it over here. Now it's covering up everything. But if I go here and go to position and go to layers, I can drag that behind. So now once I move the transparency back up to 100, you can see that we have this color right here. And I just moved that over a little bit, so it's kind of chopped it up. All right, so go to this layer, go back to transparency, and you can pull down the transparency. You can see what I mean, or you can see that in the back. So we want to get rid of some of these objects right here, and that's really going to help things stand out more. So go to this image, get rid of position, go to this image, and I'm going to hit edit. And now I'm going to use the magic erase. Again, this is a Canva Pro tool, and I'm just going to slide over the top of all this. I just want the computer to show up. Okay, erase. So it's just erasing on that first layer that we removed the background. Now go backwards, go here. So you can see that we have a color. So with this, I'm going to move this over because now we just have that computer showing, so I can kind of crop my image. It'll just be easier to grab the behind layers. And I want to change this color to something that's in my brand color. So let me do that really quickly. So I'm just going to do like a really neutral color here. So now we have this space, and now we're going to add the text. I'm just going to hit a T on my keyboard. That brings in some small text, and then I'm going to go find a font that is a little more exciting, a little more bold. So go ahead and search for whatever font you want to use. So this is Archivo Black, and then I changed it to red, one of my brand fonts. And now I'm going to position again, and I'm going to move it just behind that computer. So you can see that it just pops out a little bit. What I'm noticing is the glasses are a little too strong. So I'm going to go into that back layer and erase the glasses. So I'm going to go select it under position, layers, and now go to edit, and now magic eraser. And now on this layer, I'm just going to erase those glasses. Now you can see that the text is standing out a lot more. It's just adding a little bit of interest. So what you could do with this is if you want to animate this, you could animate this text just by selecting it, hit animate. You can make some options. There's a lot of options here. This will help it pop in your feed a little bit more. And then once you have that figured out, you just do it by word. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to add one more touch. I'm going to add my logo just to the bottom here. Have that in my brand kit. And then if I do want to post it with the animation, I need to make sure I export it as the MP4. So go up to share, go to download. MP4 is already selected. It knows that I have some movement in my design. So that's what it's suggesting. And then it's going to hit download. That's going to get saved. If I just wanted to do a flat image that I can just post to my feed, then I would just go download and select JPEG or PNG. I usually just put PNG and download. Okay, if you're still with me and you want to try this on something else, I am going to do it with a family photo on a trip I just went on and add a little fun to that. before I post it on Instagram. So I'm going to go back to Canva Home, and I am going to do the Instagram post or portrait. So put in Instagram again. Okay, there we go. We can do a blank one. Now I'm going to bring in a photo, and I'm going to bring in some text just like we did before. Add the photo. Going to set it as back. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy this image, Command C, Command V, take down the transparency just a little bit so it can line just right. I'm going to select both of them, and then I'm going to arrange them. Okay, so it looks like they are, this looks a little blurry to me. Okay, let's try center. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to remove the background on this one. I'm just going to crop that there. Then I'm going to bring in that rectangle in the back. Right now it's covering everything. I'm going to go to position, layers, and move that behind. And now I can move the transparency up on this one, so it's showing fully. Okay, then I can change the color on this to whatever you want. I'm going to use white for now, and then just take down the transparency, and then I can play around with the color if I want to. Okay, then I'm going to bring in a font for the background or something I already created. So now it's over the top of our heads, and I don't want that to be the case. So I'm going to go to position again, and I'm just going to slide everything to be just behind that top picture. And of course, you can play around with the color and anything you want to do here. But then I have a post ready to post to my Instagram. Again, I would just go to download PNG and download that, and it gets saved to my computer. You can also go into the Canva app on your phone. And if you've done it on your computer, it's going to save on your phone as well if you're signed into the same account. So that's a fun and an easier way to use your computer and your phone. All right, so give this a try. I'd love to see what you create, and have a good one.